Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta. This one is about Orange Rockerverb 100 Mark II. Let's listen a song first, so you hear this in a context of a mix, how I use it, and then after that we're gonna get more into details and specs and different tones than you hear on the song. Alright, heavy metal. Alright, yes indeed, Orange Rockerverb 100 Mark II, the previous version of the Mark. So there's Mark 1, Mark 2 and Mark 3 is the latest. This is from Musics, so if you're interested in purchasing this, there's a link in the description below. I think this is kind of like B-stock. It's basically new, but if I understood correct, you know, customer had it returned, it's hardly been played, I think. But more information you get from Musics. Yeah, pretty cool amp. So let's talk a little bit about the mix and the gear, and then let's go through the details. So the guitar is signal chain like usual. It's one of my signature ESP Japan custom shop Eclipses with EMG 8185 pickups. This is in drop C tuning now. So one full step and then the low E string down to C. Then I used a Tube Screamer, my old clone from 808. This is like, I bought it in the 90s. So, and then 4-inch Zool after that to get rid of the hiss. Then the signal goes into KHG audio amp switcher, then into the amp, actually amps. I'm gonna compare it to 5150 and Marshall JCM800, the bad boy, just for the reference, where we're standing at. And then I used two cabinets actually now. What I used on the mix, so on the mix, the left guitar was a Marshall 9060 BX cabinet with Creamback, because I have greenbacks and creambacks there. And I mic that Creamback, it's the 75 watt with the H magnet with the classic SM57 and CYHRA MD421. That was the left side and the lead. And then I doubled the rhythms afterwards, and I used my 9060 Peavey cabinet where I have the Marshall Vintage speakers and one Celestion V30. And I used the Celestion V30 mic'd with SM57 and SC Electronics VR1 ribbon mic. Also classic miking technique. So that's the right channel. Just felt that it added a little bit different tone and just made the guitar sound wider. And it was pretty, like you heard. What I have now is the Creamback with the Sennheiser and SM57, and then I blended in tiny amount of the V30 with the 57 and the ribbon mic. So it's kind of like the tone that it's in the mix. And yeah, Tube Screamer, again, like almost any amp, I like to add an overdrive in front, and as you can see from the picture, the drive is like hair open, just that it at this little, the level and tone are almost maxed. That way I just felt that I could still turn the bottom up to have a full sound, but then have a tight, kind of saturated sound going in. Compressing a little. It's made it tighter. It's mostly feel thing for me. I really like to play overdrive in front. But don't worry, we're gonna check this amp out without. So a little bit about the specs. There's EL34s and 12 AX7/ECC83S is in the preamp. I think there's like was it 6 or 7 preamp twos, like I think like for the preamp, like cascading gain stages. Then one is probably the phase inverter, what you need to have from preamp to power amp, and then there was probably ones for the reverb and whatnot. But the info actually about this amp is still on Orange's website. And there's two channels, dirty and clean, and obviously I use the dirty channel now. So let's put everything to noon except the volume, and let's start to tweak it from there. So the settings I had now and on the song was master volume 3 o'clock. No, I could get that power tube mojo. The treble is at 2 o'clock, mids noon, bass 3 o'clock, gain here above noon. And let's go to the clean channel shortly afterwards. So that's it. There's no presence control on this one, and it sounds like. Take the TS off. Get this nice rock tone with that, muscular sound. Okay, now let's put everything to noon. And let's start to dial from there. So now everything is noon. We'll check the reverb with a clean channel. So treble. It doesn't go like hollers. This reminds me actually quite a bit of the Soldano SLO 100. Whereas with that, you know, it was almost impossible to get a harsh sound out of that. Obviously, the speakers play a big role in that too, but this combination, the Creamback and a little bit Vintage V30, felt like worked the best with this amp. Works the best, in my opinion. Okay, that's the treble. So let's put it where it kind of opens. There, around 2, then it's kind of is lower. Again, it reminds me a little bit of SLO. I don't have SLO, but I played one a few times, and I think I remember correctly how that sounds. But at least immediately the kind of vibe there, but a bit more British. Let's leave that in noon. I felt past noon it's a little bit more. Okay, then bass. The bass is kind of like on my 800, so you can have it almost full and it doesn't go like, so you can be pretty careless with that. So let's leave where it is, 3 o'clock. Okay, gain. Lots of gain, and this actually stays very quite tight without an overdrive. Back the bass to about noon or 1 o'clock, and the gain is now 2 o'clock. It sounds really good. The feel is just a little sloppy, so what I do is kind of where it starts the gain. There about noon, and then a bit more low end. Like that, and then I make it tighter with a tube screamer. BTS off, more gain here. Back off the bass. It's a little bit like without, but totally usable also without overdrive. Just what I prefer. Cool. Then let's switch to the clean channel like this. Let's actually take a single coil. This is my Frankenstrat. It has seen many iterations. This is one of them. I ordered a new pickguard which is white and doesn't have this hole. So it's a work in progress now, but you know, it'll be cool. It's just talk about it's warm off parts. Okay, so the EMGS single coil. Put it actually to standard, so this is in E flat. And the treble is maxed. This clean channel is fairly dark, but I actually checked a video where Jim Root, because he uses Rockerverb from Slipknot, and he said that this wasn't his favorite clean channel of these Rockerverbs. He liked 1, and then apparently the version 3 is back to the one where it's chimier and more brighter, the clean channel, because this is fairly dark. I mean, I have the treble maxed. And it doesn't do much. Check out the mids. only thing that seems to be doing, like you actually hear it well, is bass. So yeah, I guess I'm not a big fan of this clean channel either. It's a bit like, in lack of a better word, lame. Let's try it with a chorus. Back off the mid solution. Let's keep the treble maxed. Bass at 11. So the settings are now treble maxed, mids here above 11 o'clock, bass 11 o'clock, volume 6. You can make this also overdrive a bit when you crank the volume. This is EMG81. Let's try boosting this with two screamer. And why I'm using a tube screamer and not SD1, tube screamer just work better with this one. So SD1, it always works really well with Marshalls, but like this one, tube screamer worked better. I also like tube screamer or the Zuda Duality Plus with the 5150, but SD1 and Marshall is a beatless combination to me. Okay, let's switch back to the overdrive channel. So the clean channel, not that impressive. Overdrive channel, and in the back there's a, oh yeah, the reverb. Let's check that out. It's pretty cool reverb. I don't usually like reverbs in an amp. And there's an effect loop and yeah, channel switching you can do with the foot switch and the reverb on and off. Okay, back to the dirty channel. Let's have the settings what I had. Gain here about noon. Bass 3 o'clock. Let's take the chorus off. Drop. GS on. Get in the bad boy. That's orange. $51.50. Let's switch guitar because this Strat is actually a bit darker than this Les Paul or all of mine. So I think a good Les Paul, it has butter, but it also has the chime because this has a maple top. So yeah, a lot brighter than the Strat. Orange. Yeah, immediately, because this has a so it works better. This guitar works better with this amp. The Marshall and Orange aren't that far from each other. The 800 has that upper mid chime, what especially the Bad Boy has. It has a lot of that, but it's not harsh. That's my favorite amp of all time. I've had it since 90s. There's a lot of top end, but it's never harsh. Amazing amp. This has a similar mid, like this call, British mid, British bite, but this doesn't have as much as that. And it's not a bad thing. Personal preferences. I personally am so used to 800 that I kind of miss a little bit of that, but again, it is a different amp. So it all makes sense, because you know, wouldn't make sense for Orange to do 800, because Marshall already did that. This is their own design, and I think it's really cool in that British mid feel, but not as much top as Marshall's, and the 5150 is a lot deeper and darker with the settings I have. These are the settings I usually have, because if I want a more American, almost like a scooped, I use 5150. Conclusion. I think it's great amp. It has that similar vibe to me than SLO, that oh, and no matter how much you turn treble, it's not harsh. Obviously, the speaker and mic placement plays a big role on that. Deep, full, low mids, lots of gain, and clean channel is well, if I'm honest, it's not good in my opinion. But apparently the Mark III, they improved that, so it's a lot brighter and chimier and not as dull as this one. That was Orange Rockerverb 100 Mark II. Hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Thanks for watching and tuning in. And yeah, check out the link in the description where you can buy this actual amp from a Musics. Alright, until next time, take care, bye.